So today is an interesting discussion on sleep and how we can heal ourselves through the magic of sleep, which you guys already know. But sometimes it's not so easy and we need a little help. And some people get started with some sleep rituals and other people take supplements. And today's guest, John Baxter, is going to share with us what worked for him while he was battling his own pain and sleep issues. Now, John, through trial and error, found the connection between sleep and healing for himself. And he's going to share with us today. So he has been an entrepreneur most of his life, has dealt with major depression, overcame it, and is now an inventor, creating all kinds of amazing technology for sleep, like the anti-aging bed, which we're going to talk about today, the sauce detox supplements, and EMF shielding technologies, just to name a few. So without further ado, let's meet John Baxter. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Zora, for having me on. I know this is our second part of our first, and I was excited to do the second part. So never working a day, it feels like, and loving to inform, educate, listeners, all types of people, talking about my own pain to purpose story, broken neck, healed it on my own. Over 20 years as a veteran in the mattress industry, creating more technology. So it's been a life mission and purpose at this point. So yes.
Your story is incredible because we met first at the Biohacking Congress in Boston just last June. And we did a quick interview there. So you can always find that. But I'd like to repeat some of the things that we discussed and start again briefly with the struggle that you went through with pain at a young age. Tell us a little bit, what kind of pain that was and how old you were.
So I was just an elite athlete at that time, and half ride scholarship to college. Sports were my passion. I didn't think too much further than that, but maybe being a chiropractor because I loved health. Right. So just a wrong move on my own part. Broke my neck 4 through 6, lost the ability to use my hands for a couple weeks, slowly transitioned, refused the surgery, and left myself with chronic pain for over 15 years. In that situation, one door open, one door closed. My career was over. Found a pioneer of health back care products. He became my mentor, and ever since, it was something I was allowed to do when most people didn't understand. I was so passionate about it. It was like I'm learning how to do it. So a lot of people know me as the pioneer of the zero gravity bed as well. And that was in my early 20s. So the trajectory of understanding, maybe I was a biohacker 10 years before biohacking was a name, right? Because I was just there working with people, right? Most people that are buying per se a mattress, most of them are told by their doctor that it's time to pinpoint what the heck's wrong with you. And it would usually come back to sleep. So many people would see me because the doctor said, we've pinpointed your issue, it's sleep. And so over 50,000 people face to face, not to mention running 500 mattress stores, being the lead technology guy. I was able to pull this together. We reinvented the mattress industry. First time in 40 years. We're a unicorn, first company to create a major change. So this is the first major change in the mattress industry in over 40 years. Transformational. It has nothing to do with comfort, and it has nothing to do with cooling. Those two things are commodities, right? So beyond cooling, the story that every single mattress company says, beyond comfort, which every single mattress company says, we have proven technologies, FDA cleared technologies, and we actually have 57 different cutting edge technologies within our company. But to make it simple, I start with the bed cover, but you start with sleep, you start to get transformation, and The best thing is a pattern of behavior. Good night's sleep leads into more energy, which leads into feeling better, which leads into adding more percentages, right? There's no silver bullet. Anyone that tells you their product is great, I'm sure that there's benefits of that product, me and myself included, but I ran at this at a reality. Reality is there is no silver bullet for anyone. There is no one technology that's going to give someone everything they need. So that's why we have 57 technologies. We layered, and that's the kind of what I'm known for. Founder of the MedBed technology, the guy that layered multiple technologies into sleep. We already spend a third of our life in bed. What better place to maximize your health? Not just monitoring. There's a lot of people monitoring everything. It means something, but it's not a proven technology. It's not something typically adding a benefit other than just reading your vitals, right, over a period of time. So the thing is a proven technology that is, I'll show you the meter today, how we can prove it, but getting into that is just where it's kind of going.
Well, before we talk about all this technology and things we can use to help us sleep, I still want to make that connection so you were an athlete, you broke your neck, you were in a lot of pain at a very young age, you were suffering for 15 years. So tell us from the beginning, what made you, how did you make that connection between sleep and pain relief?
So I sat at home, right? Looking at the ceiling. If I moved a millimeter, pins and needles in the hands, it's the worst feeling ever. So just sitting in my own pain for a short time, basically first year of the pain, addicted to pain pills, right? The only other option was a major surgery that would have left me basically straw man, basically. No one wants to go through that. And then you look down the barrel of your whole life at 20 saying, man, this is going to be a rough life. And for whatever reason, maybe I was stubborn, but I just didn't want to go down the same direction as my mother, who had 2 neck operations, and there's always one thing after another. So I just refused it. That was a crazy thing to do, according to everyone around me. But from that point on, no one ever understood me. So I could never tell them my pain because it's my pain. It's not their pain. They'll never understand it. And sitting in that pain, eventually, if you sit with pain long enough, right, you're like, I got to do something about it, right? There's no more, like, there's going to be no more me left, right? So that's where the rubber hits the road. If I'm not sleeping anyways, right, and the internet's available, right, I was able to connect dots a lot quicker than other people, maybe per se, because I have an inventor type of mind. I'm a researcher and going deep dives into these. So we have like 5 doctors that work for us now. I'm not a doctor, I'm an inventor, right? But so many doctors are coming to us, medical doctors, looking for answers. So the thing is that what they want us to see in the current system is buckets of information that don't connect everything, right? And so what we have here is items that really connect everything.
How did you make that connection? Like so I can imagine you're in a lot of pain, and you're absolutely right. No one can understand the pain that you're going through, and it's horrifying. So and you refused the surgery and you tried all the pain pills, but what was that spark that said, I got to find another way? And then what other things did you try that actually work to help you sleep? Like, what kind of hacks can we give the person who's listening right now in terms of removing that pain so that they don't have to go through what you've done?
Well, supplementation is important, right? Cartilage rebuilding in that scenario. MSM is one of my favorite. Magnesium, one of my favorites. I made it really simple when I ran toward it. It was just exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Let's keep it Keep it stupid simple, right? And so that means just a couple categories, but if you dive deep in each category, like nutrition, you're talking supplementation, you're talking remineralizing the body. Like I said, MSM, rebuilding cartilage.
Did you change your diet? Did you notice a difference in things that you ate before and then after with the pain?
Yeah. So I went on an anti-inflammation diet, right? I was a vegan, a very strict vegan for 8 years.
Wow.
So I can almost say almost no dairy, all this stuff, and it was great, pure energy, just pure energy. I don't believe I was considered one of those other vegans that hates the diet now. I actually still love the diet because I know about mineralization. I see people saying vegan and they're eating gluten, they're eating sugar, and they're like, well, vegan didn't work for me. And I go, did you even consider remineralizing your body? Did you really consider, taking some different supplements? And so it was.
So you did feel a difference in pain, like the vegan diet worked for the pain. The pain was subsided by what, 50%, or like how much of an impact did that make on your pain?
So I think according to like just the spine, right? Having a tighter stomach, right? Not a big gut or anything, being very balanced, right? This body was designed to be very balanced. American diet, a little overweight, a little gut, it throws everything out. So being at the right potential of my own personal situation, the size I am, the muscle structure I have, finding that perfect balance did a lot with just eating right, drinking the right water, during that time, just drinking like going back to non-GMO, pesticide free type of stuff. I would say it was pretty big, 25%, 30 plus percent. For me, it was the diet. Anti-inflammation diet really helped with my neck, right? Because it was just so important that, I didn't feel the pain. So it really took a huge pain reduction just with the anti-inflammation diet. pH balanced, types of foods, more alkalinity, more oxygen in the body. And it was huge. So that was what I would consider nutrition.
What about exercise? Yeah. What kind of exercise did you do? Because you would think if you're in pain, it must have been really hard to exercise. And why did you think of doing that?
So I'm like I said, I was an elite athlete since I was young. I continued my Kung Fu and Tai Chi training afterwards. So by the time I broke my neck, I just went to holistic training. I've done yoga for a long time as a beneficiary item that would keep my back relaxed, stretched out. But my goal was to just continue being an artist. So the freedom that I got from movement's medicine, I created my own style of Tai Chi after having 3 grandmasters. I was considered one of the best students in each one because I was diligent. I pushed the limit. I was so disciplined that I would do the moves and over and over again because I wanted to spiritually and so many other levels ascend this reality. So I actually created my own style of Tai Chi after 35 years of learning from some of the best teachers in the world. So I call it B style Tai Chi. Be yourself, number one. Don't be a replica of a trophy on the wall of someone else's former future or past. Be in the present moment. Move your body in the sense where you feel, where you need release, stagnation. So having the ability to explore this body, doing an internal martial arts, soft style, I was able to be just a great performer as well. So I study the present moment, of understanding, and no longer am I doing patterns of behavior that are someone else's movement. I study my body. I do what feels good for me. And that creative freedom that I was getting through these movements and perfecting myself, it triggered my ascension into this healing thing. And so basically now I teach just your style. It's not about anyone else's style. It's about your style, right? Because this is what people want. This is what people enjoy. You know, people go to the gym, and I'm like, I did that for so long that I created patterns on my body, bench press, squats, all these things, you know, and all I was doing was, yes, I was, you know, those muscles would get stronger, but at a certain point, how much more strength do you need, right? You're just creating patterns of behavior that may not coincide with a free, loving, spirited, free-spirited person. So my practice matched the other duality, right? Anyone can run toward rationality. Anyone can run towards being stuck in their head, right? And not really feel anything, right? That was the breakthrough that I had doing the yoga, eating right, spirituality, turning this machine on at a high level, becoming more empathetic, being in the divine masculine. Some of the topics I talk about, men don't talk about because they're afraid. I don't live in fear. So that's the thing I got from my study. I do not live in fear, because fear is what paralyzes people. So you got two options in life. You want to run toward fear. You start with a thought of fear. It ends up being something you don't want in the end. You have a thought of love and you have the right intention. That little seed grows into something you want in the future. It may take 10 years, may take 20. So that's what I realized through this spirituality. I'm not in it to just do something so hard and make something happen in 1 year. After I went through my pain and purpose, I started being realistic.
I think we're going to have to name this podcast more about pain relief, because it's super interesting. I want to take your Tai Chi class now, because it's very, very, it's very interesting. It's very different. I think I agree that sounds like, yeah, we are repeating everybody else's movements, and maybe pain relief, maybe freedom of whatever is blocking you is within, and finding your own movement, your own style. And I really appreciate that. That's super cool. So I want to then, you probably, with the better sleep, I mean, the better nutrition and the appropriate exercise for you, then you probably, we're sleeping a bit better. And then how did you make that connection then, another leap towards sleep and pain relief and healing?
Well, that's the trifecta: exercise, nutrition, and sleep, right? So sleep was the forgotten element. And if I wasn't in the mattress industry, I wouldn't have picked this up, right? Because it's like I was living, breathing this for over 20 years. So, sleep was such a big deal. So the position of the way you sleep was helpful to me. Raising your legs on the adjustable bed, turning on the massage, keeping everything limber, right? Don't be a weekend warrior, right? Do it with purpose daily, if not take a break every other day, but do it with purpose, do it with intention, do it with consistency, keeping your body limber, mobile, range of motion better. The body knows what to do. The body heals itself. None of the stuff that anyone shows you, any of the technology, it's basically the body heals itself. It knows what to do. And sleep was something that it's the two things, lack of sleep and mental health are the two biggest things that people are trying to take care of. And those are the two biggest issues. Sleep in general, lack of sleep, $406 billion it costs the world each year in lack of production, increase in disease and issue because of lack of sleep. So the three combined, at the time, I can go into how I created the technology based on the Tai Chi and grounding. So I've been to Shaolin Temple. I lived at Shaolin Temple for 30 days. So
And the Shaolin, explain what the Shaolin Temple is in China.
So yeah, this is one of the forefronts of martial arts, but more like meditation, yoga. A lot of people don't know the Shaolin Temple came from an Indian monarch. So in those times of ancient past, these famous spiritual gurus came out of India. India seeded a couple of these gurus in different countries. China and India were friends. They gave a guy named the famous monk, can't think of his name, but he basically
the Wing Chun guy.
Not the Wing Chun guy.
That's his name.
That's the Bruce Lee guy. This is the guy that founded the Shaolin Temple like 700 plus years ago.
Oh, okay. I don't know the name.
But anyways, I have all the books. I was gifted from my grandmaster the first plaque at the Shaolin Temple. My grandmaster is the first plaque at the Shaolin Temple. He brought the Shaolin Temple to the USA.
But I imagine, I heard going to the Shaolin Temple and spending time there and learning martial arts and is quite difficult, quite brutal. But I imagine, I think they don't have very comfy beds. Like you're on the floor or something like that, right?
Yeah, they use more of mats, the traditional ways that people lived, right? And
how was your sleep then?
So, exercise, getting exercise early in the morning was a key, more so than at night. It can keep you up late at night. So starting the day out with exercise gives you an easier way to go to bed later in the day. And it opens your body up to better circulation the rest of the day too, if you start out with that. So you're keeping yourself limber, like I was going back to, constantly keeping yourself limber, removing that tightness. That's oxidative stress that we all carry. Stress protecting our heart, stress of just the modern era, stress from all the different toxins that are around, and keeping yourself very limber is just the body's way to push stuff out faster. You don't want to be stagnant, and you want to be flowing, and you don't want to be what was considered in the Chinese philosophy. You want to be a bamboo, right? You want to be able to take the wind and stay up. You don't want to be brittle and just snap. And that's kind of the be like water, stay fluid in motion. That's how these people are living forever. So yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about, okay, so we know that sleep probably had a big impact on your health and well-being. And tell us just briefly, then how did you make that connection that sleep was really important? So is it because you fell into the mattress industry and then you go, oh, this is a huge part?
It really is. It's just because I couldn't sleep. So like I said, I wasn't comfortable. I got in the mattress industry because of a technology called memory foam. It kind of dates myself, but it just came out and it was like 2000. So that technology with Tempur-Pedic and a couple of these companies, it gave me some relief. It was not a silver bullet for everything, but it gave me enough relief that I could believe in it, right? The pressure relief. So I was knowing that it was there, but also, just the healing effect. So being an athlete, if you didn't get good enough sleep, you weren't worth much the next day. Your body didn't recover, repair.
And so athletes need more sleep, right? Athletes need more sleep than the average person.
Bodybuilders, athletes, right? If you don't sleep and you're a bodybuilder, your muscles will really atrophy, right? But if you sleep, your muscles grow, regenerate bigger. So it'll, your recovery time is vastly improved with just sleep. So that's why I ran toward it. It was just let's just call sleep the forgotten secret that we basically just threw out with the bathwater.
So, okay, then let's talk, before we talk about the anti-aging bed, which is such a great name. I think a lot of people listening to this is going, okay, how can I reverse aging while I'm actually sleeping? I want you to explain a little bit about grounding and how that can be a healing modality.
Yeah, so we've been disconnected. This story of us wearing rubber soled shoes, right? Living on concrete slabs. Essentially, this body is an alchemical process, and it ends up that we're electrical beings, right? Every movement is electrical, right? But we've been disconnected all this time of hearing people living 350, 1,000 years at a time when people were barefoot touching the surface of the earth. The inflammation that occurs is neutralized by being in contact with the physical dirt. The earth is a battery in itself, and I can prove this with so many different ways that I can take little pieces of dirt and put them in ice cube trays, take a wire, put it into the next piece of dirt, take another wire, and just like an ice cube tray, and I can light up a light bulb, right? The earth itself is a battery. So what happens with us today where we're not grounded, we're actually suspended from the ground. We're not in contact. So what happens is EMFs, even from lights, EMFs from the cell phones,
Electromagnetic frequencies, right? That are harmful to the body. Just to recap on what EMF is.
Yeah, these are ionizing radiation. EMF is an ionizing radiation. It's giving us free radical damage. It's giving us stress. It's the stress, extra stress that the body's not used to. And also, what are all the autoimmune inflammation issues can help be neutralized by just being in contact. It's the great connector. Grounding very much is the great connector for our own health, but the connection between one another. So if you have a body that's grounded, there's a study done by Dr. Sinatra, essentially getting free mobile electrons from grounding in the earth, right? And being in contact, you're getting electron antioxidants, that it's neutralizing inflammation. So when we take supplements like vitamin C and a couple of these powerful antioxidants, they're really good for the body. And what is an antioxidant? It's an electron donor. It's a shared electron donor. That's the definition of an antioxidant. So you can get antioxidants from ingesting supplements, and the reason why we eat food is to get antioxidants, one of them, right? So the body absorbs, this is our biggest organ, our skin, right? And we absorb the antioxidants too when we're grounding, right? So we're neutralizing inflammation.
Okay. So I'll have to, it would be interesting if you could share that study with me, and I could put that in the show notes. Because that's the science on this to me is I still need to, I'm on the fence about it. Although what I do is I feel the difference when I'm grounded. And grounding doesn't have to be just dirt. It can be sand, it can be grass, it can be pebbles, it can be stones, it can be wood, anything that's this natural surface. And as long as it's sort of, on the ground, not on, a wood surface on this 20th floor of your apartment building, it's, and then when you have water involved, whether it's a beach, a little wave lapping on, or dew on the grass, it seems to be amplified. But I do feel, I feel great when I take off my shoes and I ground myself. And I don't know if it's psychological, but I really feel the difference. So I don't need the science to convince me about that. But let's move on then to people who cannot do that, just take off their shoes. They live in big cities. I used to live in Hong Kong. I've got clients who live on the 35th floor, and they understand the benefits of grounding. And, some people can buy grounding mats, but you have grounding embedded into the anti-aging bed. And I think that's part of the healing process, like you mentioned, anti-inflammatory and healing. So maybe talk us a little bit about how the anti-aging bed works, what it is, and then how that's grounding everybody.
Yeah. So we're not the original pioneer of grounding. But what we are is the patent owners of the future of grounding, right? We made improvements. A lot of grounding in the past was basically it was recalled. Almost it wouldn't last more than 3 months, right? We had to spend 8 years figuring out how to do this correctly. So I can honestly say with our patents, there's everything that I show you is US approved patent, and it's an improvement all around on grounding technology. So mats are semiconductors. Carbon-based black mats is a semiconductor. Silver itself is the most conductive element, right? It's a real conductor, right? So what we did was, and I could just show it to you, it's better to see it, right? This is more of a circuit board. Right?
So now you're showing us the mattress cover that you use to cover the mattress, and you can see little silver bits embedded into the fabric.
Yeah, and the problem with old technology was you couldn't stretch it. Any little pull at all would pull the seam, and then it wouldn't be conductive, right? So we had to think really hard. Even China can't make this. This is not something they can't even figure it out. What we created, a stretchable, grounding, breathable technology that's using a real conductor against your body. So this is a pillowcase to make it simple. But also, so this is offering the electron antioxidants. Like our body, I said, our body is a conductor, and we're getting electron antioxidants from the ground. And this does, of course, plug in. And so the reason why the grounding works is because they figured out a long time ago that if you didn't have the house grounded and you had appliances and things throwing off a lot of ions, it starts breaking everything, including your own body. So, you know, like when you bought a computer, it says keep away from static. It's because static breaks computers and static breaks the human body. Static is actually the free radicals. So too many free radicals, inflammation goes up until you could just snap, right? Your body would just break down. The blood will start clotting. And we had this natural thing, this idea from Tai Chi. So in the Shaolin Temple, even back in the day when they did Tai Chi, they knew, if you're a traditional Chinese medicine or anything, that the balls of energy, that's what they call it, would pull through the ground when you did your Tai Chi barefoot, right? And that time they didn't even know that cement, they had cement, this and that, but the dirt was the primary way, and leather soled shoes were the way. Leather soles are an organic semiconductor. Skin on an animal is a semiconductor, a carbon-based semiconductor, actually. So they wear rubber moccasins that would be leather, not rubber-soled shoes. So that's the thing. And putting all this together, how we came up with the name anti-aging, all the benefits I told you about this amazing, stretchable, grounded technology. It also, when in contact, it fills your body up. It fills your body up with the electron antioxidants. And being in contact with this, you're essentially in contact with the ground rod. So the ground rod.
Yeah. So the grounding rod. So you have on this pillowcase that you're showing us, and the same thing with the mattress cover, you have this cord actually connected to it. And then that cord has a plug, and the plug has the two prongs on the top are plastic. So there's no electricity. Okay. So people understand this is no electricity, no EMFs, but there's that metal silver bit. And that's the grounding rod that doesn't go into electricity, just so people understand. Right. And that's what's putting you from the 34th floor of your apartment down to the ground in the earth. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it's our patented technology. A resistor protects you, 20-year tech, any type of electricity going back and forth, safe. So this pops on and off. So that's how it works. And on top of that, internally, internally, it has this FDA cleared far infrared technology. So we combined, I can actually make the claim, it gives you faster recovery. It gives you a better night's sleep. It gives you better circulation. And it gives the cellular structure more ATP packets of energy. So this works off nanotechnology. Your own body heats up these crystals, and these crystals reflect back a waveform called far infrared. So this is the combined technology of the inflammation reducing antioxidant power of the grounding, EMF shielding as well, along with the benefits of far infrared combined. That's how we came up with the name anti-aging bed.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream. No pun intended. No pun intended. So it's the only question I have. So I have the bed. I've been using it for a week. I'm in Spain. I had to get a special adapter for it. And I don't feel anything. I have to be honest. I feel nothing. Maybe I'm optimized. I don't know. My sleep is as usual. So I was expecting some miracles. So I said, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go get a reader to figure out how if I'm, this is because maybe the plug is wrong. Maybe I did something wrong. And this is my question to you is, how do I check? Because I know you have these readers and I don't have one. You're going to send me one, but how would somebody check to be sure? If you have somebody like me who says, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know. I want to see, I mean, we're biohackers here, and sometimes we don't feel these things because we're optimized, but we like the data. We like to see something. So explain, how do we make sure that we really are grounded?
Yeah, so our product comes with its own meter. You can use your own meter at home. This can show you everything from the voltage in your body all the way to the EMFs in the air. I can show you this live if you like.
It's called what kind of reader is that called? If somebody wants to.
This is a multimeter.
Multimeter.
Yeah, this is you can read millivolts. Was the primary way that in the turn of the century, 19th century, they actually used millivolts to see how healthy you are. So they don't do that anymore for all the reasons, but you can check your nanovolts, which is very similar to the millivolt, but the millivolt brings it down to a granular number. That way, if you're really grounded, you can go to 0. And the health benefits of grounding is that reduction in inflammation. And you can actually turn it to hertz. The hertz is a way I can show that the EMFs are being shielded.
Okay, so let's take a look. You're going to show us. I just want you to see my little EMF reader. Is there any way I can check with this thing?
Yeah, so this thing, with that thing, it's more of a one-way shield. So the EMF meter per se is just checking the EMFs in the air, right? Not in your body, because it's not connected to your body. It's just an airborne EMF, see if they're around. That technology.
So would it make sense that I hold my telephone, not sitting on the bed or not lying down, just standing, and then lying down on the bed, testing myself? Would there be any change in this meter reading?
That's really the wrong meter reading for it. We have a canopy. We have a EMF shielding like Faraday cage that you can wrap. It's like a mosquito net around the bed. That's the proper way to use that meter. And I have it here, but basically you take that meter, you go inside the canopy with the silver technology that's grounded, and that meter will go basically almost to 0, depending on radio frequency. If you're testing for electromagnetic, the different spectrums, you can use that meter. I've done that meter test 1,000 times with people live. Basically, you read it out here. This air form has got a lot of EMFs. You jump inside with the EMF shielding canopy, it goes to 0. So that's
not
another
the bed,
one.
not the mattress cover or the pillowcase. It won't work. So let's see.
That's not the proper meter to read the body.
Okay, so let's do a quick demo if you can, and then we're going to open up to the questions, the Q&A here. So how does that? What is somebody going to look at and expect when they when they put on this reader what that has. So it basically has, John has this block. It's a, just it looks like the size of an iPhone, and it's got two cables, a black and a red, just like jumper cables for your car. And they have metal clips at the end. It's literally the jumper cables for the car, but mini set. And we see.
Yeah, this is a multimeter, so I can start measuring this, and I'm going to try to make it as visible as possible.
Yeah, I can see it. We can see it's 6 point. It's jumping up and down.
Yeah, so let me get it prepared here. I'm going to sit it right here. There's a black and a red. There's a black cord and a red cord. The first thing you have to do is you got to ground this to the cover. So as you can see here, it's
moving from what to what now? Just when you put on the black cable, now.
So now it's really actually measuring.
So it's now 50, but what was it before?
Well, it's not going to measure. It wasn't connected to anything.
Oh,
now.
I see. Okay.
Now it's connected to the cover. So now it has a baseline. This is the baseline, the ground. It's plugged in.
And what's the number now?
Right now we are at 135 millivolts in the air. So right now I'm proving to you that there's EMFs in the air. I'm not touching this piece of metal here, and it's reading the air. So right now we're at 140 millivolts in the air. That's an objective number. Has nothing to do with me or you. It's just what's in the air. So I'm proving that there's EMFs and extra voltage in the air, staticky electricity that's giving us an extra charge. Basically, once you understand the technology, we're all carrying an extra charge, and that extra charge is really a big reason for autoimmune disease.
Okay, so what happens when we put in the red cable? Are you going to attach the red cable where?
To my body. So now I'm reading the difference between myself and the ground.
Now it's 0. Is that normal?
No, that's over the limit. It's
OL.
So as you can see, it's over the limit.
Yeah. Okay. It's going up to 300 something. And now when you squeeze the red cable, it's OL, over the limit. So that's just way too much.
Yeah, that means it's over 600 millivolts. I have done nothing in this world other than just live and breathe. And this is the modern society. I'm at 600 plus millivolts. If I turn it to volts, just nanovolts, it's less granular. So these are just meter readings, but as you can see, that equals out to 1 volt. I'm getting 1 volt of electricity out of the air that's giving me more inflammation. And when I touch the technology, see if you can see it with me touching.
Now you're touching the pillowcase that you've connected into the ground, and the meter goes to 0. Interesting. Takes the hand off and it goes up to 1, put the hand on, and it goes down to 0. Okay. So the moment your hand is on the pillowcase, when you imagine your whole body on there, the voltage is 0. And that means 0 EMFs that you're getting in the body.
Yeah. And there's different readings, but yes, that means all of the above. If this goes to 0, it means you're shielded from EMFs, you're grounded, and that's the energy flow. So energy flows from high to low. I was carrying an extra voltage different from the ground. So my energy with this extra voltage running through my body is now being balanced. It's like a levee. Just how levees work, the water goes from a high to a low. My energy just got neutralized, this extra voltage I'm carrying. And so I told you more granular, right? So let's go more granular. This was the over the limit, right? And as you can see,
it goes down to 0 again from over the limit. So, okay, John, this is pretty convincing. I need to get this meter because I need to be convinced. I feel nothing. And I want to feel something. And until I, I guess find something that I need to fix, then I need to see that. Or perhaps my plug is wrong. Maybe I have the wrong adapter. I don't know. But that I would love to see that grounding meter in my hands, and I'll have to test myself and get back to you. And maybe I'll add my notes, my own audio notes here to update people on what I feel or any differences that are happening. So I know you're short on time. We probably only got about 5-10 minutes left. I want to open up the panel to the people who are here. If you have any questions, we always start with Magdalena. She's got some great questions. How are you, Magdalena?
Hello. Elena went home, so I'm home alone. And have time for Zoom again.
Yay.
Hello, Joan. Hello, Samantha. I don't know what to ask. For me, it looks so complicated. I don't understand really. Maybe I would ask, I was listening to the podcast with Dr. Sinclair, and he mentioned that he's using anti-aging bed. Is this your bed?
Well, there's a lot. We actually became famous throughout this whole process. So we went virally global. So yeah, David Sinclair, some of my people on the team are talking to him. And this is just, so a lot of famous people have our product. Almost every biohacker, all the top names have our product, whether they told someone about it or not, they're sleeping on it. And I'll throw names out there: Ben Greenfield, Dave Asprey, Troy Casey, Paul Check. All those guys are using this technology, and in conjunction with all the other technologies they're using too. So it's just one of those things that the thing that you probably are not understanding is that it comes in a travel bag. And this is the bed cover. It doesn't matter which mattress you have. If you have a mattress.
Yeah, this was my next question. So it's only a cover for the mattress. It's not the mattress itself or the whole bed. So I don't have to change anything at home. Just need to get this cover and that's it.
Yeah, it goes around.
You have different dimensions, I guess. And
we have all of the US dimensions. And so it's like twin XL, queen, king, Cal king. So we have all those specific sizes.
We have meters here in Europe. Meters are centimeters, 2 meters or 180 or something. That's it.
Yeah, and we also sell the fabric. Like this is just a fabric sheet, and they have different sizes. You can put different sizes. It's called BioShield. This is a pillowcase. This goes around your pillow. And if you can't afford the bed cover or it's not the right time, you can try this for a lot less. You can get the BioShield sheet. You can get the pillowcase. But also, like I was showing you, the #1 seller that we have per se, because it makes the most sense, you're going to be grounding yourself for 8 hours every night with the bed cover. You take it with you. You go on vacation. You go to a hotel, you're traveling, you take it with you, and it makes a huge difference. But also we have the biohacking mattress. So the cover works good if you do need a mattress. This is our bed in a box. It's actually made in Portugal.
Oh,
oh wow. So it's not far.
You should know.
European standards are way better than the USA because one, no cancer causing chemicals are allowed in Europe. In the US, they force you cancer causing chemicals because it's a federal mandate. So
federal mandate wants you to have chemicals in your bed? Did I hear that?
They force you to.
Why?
It's the law.
They want us to get sick or what?
Absolutely. How are they going to keep this thing running? So yeah, so basically, yeah, cancer causing chemicals are due to the fire retardant chemicals that are forced to be placed in the mattress. So before you even can get your mattress approved, they take a flamethrower they make you buy 10 mattresses. They take a flamethrower to every mattress. And if your mattress doesn't self-extinguish, then you don't get to sell it in the USA. So they force, per se, the cancer-causing chemicals that your skin is up against there. That's why we went, this is a USA-made bed cover. We don't have to follow any guidelines of that mandate. And with our mattress, we're using European approved fire retardancy items. So a lot of it is the different types of wool. Wool naturally is a flame retardant, believe it or not. So there, the mattress, this is called the Biohacking mattress. You can check it out. If you do need a mattress, our mattress has far infrared, and it also has a conductive foam. So, but if you need a mattress that's available, it has a matching set. But if you already, like most of us, already have a mattress we like, this simply goes around the outside. It zips around so it doesn't move. So the prior technology, people are using rubber mats. It's sweaty, it gets hot, it doesn't stretch, it bunches. So a lot of that stuff people don't like to sleep on because it's a vinyl type of situation. This is stretchable, breathable, in the whole 9 yards.
Actually,
may I ask what the price is?
So,
because you mentioned like if you cannot afford, so I'm wondering now what the price is.
So in our king size bed cover has 20 ounces of real silver. 20 ounces of real silver thread, and it's so you're talking anywhere from $600 to $800, and a quarter of the price. This is $200 for a pillowcase. BioShield's like $100 to $150, so you can try, wherever level you want, and that gets you into the system. Basically, a lot of people start wherever, then they end up getting the bed cover anyways. So that's kind of where we do ship worldwide. But in a sense that the issue Zora had was that, we're focused on USA sales. We do ship to Canada. So they have these different adapters, but some countries like, I believe it looks a little bit different, the one that you have, Zora, than the one I ship to the UK. But I don't, with their whole system over there, it's a little bit different here. We're using standard USA plugs. And what we do is we can use an adapter for UK and a bunch of others. But in that sense, it's the same ground. And that's how it works. But it's a stair step, basically. But if you can get the bed cover, there's stuff I didn't talk about on the show. We have 57 technologies. But I'll tell you, you start with roughly the bed cover and sleep, and it goes all the way. We put frequencies into this now. This is so conductive. I'm putting all the major frequencies through it, the hertz, Rife frequencies, solfeggio frequencies. We can put this in there, and that's another revolutionary item we have. We actually reinvented the hyperbaric chamber because of this technology. So you get grounding inside of an oxygen chamber. And
how does you said there was infrared technology in the bed mattress cover. How does that work without electricity?
So we considered far infrared a red light therapy. It's red, right? And that red light is giving us the photobiomodulation to make our cells, enhanced with energy and ATP. So basically, we have a different form of far infrared that uses your body heat to heat up. And I know we're running close on time and stuff like that, but yeah, that's basically how it works.
All right, we'll have to get people to ask their questions to you directly. Before we go, Samantha, was there anything else that you wanted to interject before we let John go?
Yeah, just a quick question. Thank you so much. It was so intriguing and inspiring. Do you wash the material? Like, how do you clean it?
It's 100% washable, and we've done all the tests. So the only thing you don't want to do is use a heavy detergent like Tide. You need to use a Castile soap like Dr. Bronner's soap, unscented. You can wash it in gentle wash and gentle dry. So that's the main thing. Use a soft, gentle soap like a hand soap, something that's not a heavy detergent that messes with the silver. So use an oil-based soap, and it just conditions the silver, and then you just keep going. Wash it. People wash theirs almost every week, still conductive.
We can get the check it with the grounding, the grounding and the EMF stuff. So one other thing I want to mention to people before we let you go is that you, in our last conversation in Boston, you did say that you can use an Uller or one of these chili pads and still reap the benefits, because a lot of our listeners here are going through menopause or like to have a cool bed. So that's okay, right? That doesn't disrupt the...
Yeah, that's a great question. You put this on the outside of that. It's an airflow system, so it's all breathable. Put this bed cover on the outside of that. The breathability is still there, so you get that cooling. The other amazing thing is, because a lot of our problem with sleeping hot is inflammation, this is the answer to inflammation. A cool pad, as cool as it is, it's just cooling the body like a fan. It's not going to the root cause of the heat and why you're hot in the first place. Mm-hmm. And that is toxins, the modern society, inflammation, EMFs. That's what's really creating the heat in the body. When you sleep on an inflammation reducing technology, all the stuff with cooling and heat, it subsides some. So that's a percentage point better. So it can improve if you're using both. It's a combined technology. And so when you're combining, layering, it's just more beneficial in the end.
Excellent. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time. If people want to have more information, they can find you at antiagingbed.com. And it's the same thing on Instagram, and as well as Facebook is Anti-Aging Bed Mattress. I have all the links in the show notes. You can use a discount code, which you've given our listeners 5%, I think, off using the code Zora, Z-O-R-A. Is there any last bits of information you'd like to share before I let you go?
Well, I just wanted to thank you guys again. This has been a fun show. And of course, I love to explain all the technology and just bringing people together. We have a really simple message: help heal the world together. All the technologies, combine them. It doesn't matter. We're all in this for the same reason, to help others. So that's kind of the message. And like I said, I'm not afraid to say that, essentially, because that's the intention of the company, so that we're running with. So it's just one of those things that, you know, someone's got to go out there and make sure that people are understanding, you know, that the benefits of health. So anything we can do to help anyone out there. We have a location here in Orlando, Florida. Try it for free. Try our other 50 technologies that you didn't see. That way, that's why when you try it for free, if you don't see a benefit, then you wouldn't have to buy it. But if you saw a benefit and you wanted it, then you have the option to purchase it. So there's a lot of this stuff, a lot of information. I'd love to be on your show again, but I really appreciate it. It's been an amazing morning.
Thank you, John. Well, have a great day. You're just getting started in the US, and everyone else, a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So take care.
Thank you, Zora.